Yeah, what I am really interested in sparking in people is the ability to see more of the possibilities that are available to them, because we have blinders on. It is an unfortunate part of our nature as human beings that we were given sort of limitations as we grew up from our families, our peers, the culture itself, et cetera, the tribe, if you will. And we don't see what's really out there for us. We've blocked it off. And so I like to help people form really unlimited questions, because the more unlimited the questions, the more possibility you'll be able to see. So you can ask yourself things like, if I could make this work, how would I make it work? If I could have any resource in the world in order to get this done, what would those be? And how could they come into my life? I mean, just if you just open it up and just let yourself see what's out there, you'd be amazed at what you can bring to yourself.
You have given me my perfect opening for our next segment. We have to take a break, but when we come back, Kim, I would like to talk to you about the phenomenon that I have experienced for decades, which is asking questions and getting answers. That's a good subtopic for us to get into when we return. We are talking with Marcille Romaner. She's the author of The Science of Making Things Happen. Turn any possibility into reality. Kim, I said before the break that I wanted to talk about asking questions and getting answers. What I have noticed, speaking of a phenomenon, is that going back 30, 35 years in my life, the most curious thing happened, and this wasn't something that I read about in a book originally or that I heard about in a classroom. I just started to notice it. I found that if I asked a question about something where I felt I had a need to know, some bit of information that was going to answer a question relevant to the living of my life, the universe or the greater forces of life have a way of dropping that information right in front of me so that it's unmistakable. I can remember a time when I went to a restaurant and I was just sort of scratching my head because I have only whatever is below a smattering of Latin in my background, just a phrase here or there. Haven't encountered it too much and never took it in school. But I remember one time I was sitting in a restaurant and I was seated right by the window. And I looked out the window and there was an empty parking space, okay? And I had it in mind that I didn't know what the phrase carpe diem was. A lot of people use that. It's like a rallying cry, as you know. But there I was wondering about carpe diem. Now, what exactly does that mean? I don't know the translation, I thought to myself. And as I was eating my lunch, I looked at the paper, and there was the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, which used to have a print edition, and there was the food section. And I picked that up, and there was a headline about carpe diet. So it was a play on words. And I looked at carpe diet there in the paper, and I thought, well, that's funny, but I don't even know what carpe diem means. I'm very curious to know. And as I sat there having lunch, only a few minutes later, a car pulled into that empty space that I just mentioned, and they had a plate frame. It was in sky blue, which is one of my very favorite colors. They parked the car and came on into the restaurant, and I just looked at them get out, and then I looked at the plate frame right there at the front bumper. And the plate frame said, Carpe Diem, seize the day. Mm-hmm. Now, that happened to me on the spot. It's a marvelous example of a synchronicity, and yet I think the science of it, maybe you can explain it to me, the science of it has to do with our adaptation to life and our need to get information that helps our lives work.
Yeah, I actually was thinking we could call that parquet diem.
Oh, listen to this. Very clever. I love that.